Is it possible to look towards the past without questioning what could have been? If different paths would have emerged?
Is it possible to talk about Timișoara without mentioning the revolution? We don't know, but we will try.
I was born 9 days before this video, 10 days before my actual birth, but that is another story. I was born at approximately 655.6 kilometers away, in Iasi, the city where I still live, and where I strongly hope I won't grow old and die, since I despise it. But that is another story. The amateur video shows, in 2 parts, the route between Lipovai and Chisoda, crossing the city of Timișoara from north to south. The video was uploaded on YouTube 14 years ago by Andrei Popa 1989.
I was born 93 days after this video, in Timișoara, but my family left the city in 1998 moving to Pietrăneamț, but that is another story. The amateur video with the title s.a.b.a, Timișoara 1991 shows the city center with its buildings and monuments. It was uploaded on YouTube 3 years ago by Walter F. This video is entitled Timișoara Uni 1992, mentioning in the description the date, 6th of June, 16 days after the opening of the Earth exhibition at the Art Museum of Timișoara. The museum was located in the Austrian Governor's Palace, a representative building undergoing extensive renovation work at that time.
Starting from an invitation, environmentalist in tone, from a group of German artists wishing to celebrate Earth Day, the Romanian artists who took part in the event found completely different meanings, and their investigations took different paths. How to think about ecology when one is surrounded by incertitude and precarity, but this is another story. This exhibition was a precursor of Zona, Eastern Europe Performance Festival that started in 1993, influencing other experimental art events such as the Peripheric Performance Festival, and later Biennial, from Iasi in 1997.
I don't remember hearing anything about art, performance and Zona Festival while I grew up in Timișoara. I've never heard my parents talk about performance and video art, nor was there a custom to attend art openings and exhibitions.
En el minuto 16 del jugador Batrinu, vamos a ver la repetición. Ha sido Cook. Cook en el minuto 17, gol del Timișoara. Cook.
I don't remember hearing anything about art, performance and the Peripheric Biennial while I grew up in Iasi.
We wonder how many people knew. What the passerbys thought. What are the passers-by thinking now, if they are still alive? Did they discover art? Did they fall in love with it? Did they get caught in this great game of research, deconstruction and sharing of knowledge, be it empirical or not? But this is another story.
In 1992, during the Earth exhibition, Dan Perjovschi participated with an interactive performance where he appropriated the role of the state in its process of returning the private properties that have been nationalized between 1949 and 1962. By simulating a bureaucratic office and process, with its intrinsic paperworks, Dan Perjovschi gave away 10 by 10 centimeters packs of soil in order to mock and criticize the government's impotence.
We wonder how many people participated in this artistic action? Around 49 persons, one can see on one of the mock forms. We wonder how many people got their land back? What did they do with it? How many families got divided by the process of sharing their property? How many people benefited from the number 18 1991 law, the Land Fund Law? How many people truly benefited from it? How many people still have the land? But this is another story.
It is hard to look back and observe. It is hard to look back and remember. Those first years into the world, discovering with every step a new world. Always unprepared for what comes next. The traumatic upbringing into a new life after the energetic and optimistic spark of 1989. A collective eruption fills the social space with hope, just for a moment. Depression, poverty and despair follows. Our memories are colorful and sad at the same time. Some shortcomings cut deeper than others. Some left traces, some have deeper wounds. So many stories.
"80 days after the Earth exhibition, the 1 hour 34 minutes and 7 seconds video documents a mass baptism procession in the Big River. Hundreds of people in attendance. Curious gazes observing the acceptance of God. Dressed in white clothes, investing faith into a future of repenting, manifesting freedom, embracing new narratives."
The burden of freedom and the nakedness of society, out in the open, facing the brutal storm of privatization, inflation and continuous erosion of solidarity. New narratives emerge. But this is another story.
How would the Earth exhibition look like today? How would the Romanian artist respond to the ecologist framework proposed by the German artists? What would their art look like? What agents would they be? Would they even speak about the struggles and traumas of the people? That is another story.
Our histories intertwine, our land as well. Many thought that they would get their land back and start anew, free and prosperous, but no future came out of chaos. But that is another story.
The ecology of life has been long disrupted, abuse, profit, ignorance and pain, all part of the world for millennia, but no free land, with property gates and control is new in our history, as our Earth is much older than our flimsy human life. We were once free to feed ourselves from any land. but that is another story.
The land now belongs to the few, a monopoly of space, of resources, of life. We watched this happen throughout our short history, be it by invaders from distant lands, by kings and queens, by the army of God, by the aristocrats, by the bourgeoisie, by the colonists, by the state, by the oligarchs, by the businessmen, all over the world. But that's another story.